Thank you very much. Please be seated. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, the Right Honorable Speaker of the Parliament of Ghana, Honorable Chief of Staff, Minister for Finance, and other ministers here present, our cherished statesmen and women to be sworn in today, senior government officials, distinguished invited guests, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of His Excellency the President, it is my honor to welcome all of you to the Presidency on this special occasion. Our attention has been drawn to the fact that since it's an advisory body, there wouldn't be any need for us to swear any oath. So please, let's take that one out of the program. Thank you for your kind cooperation, please. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, today's ceremony underscores a fundamental commitment of President Mahama's government to harness the very best of Ghanaian expertise for the critical task of building a resilient economy for a sustainable national development. Your Excellency, with your permission, may I now introduce members of the Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy. First, we have Her Excellency Professor Jane Nana Opoku Agyemang, Vice President of the Republic. Next, we have Mr. Ishmael Yamson, Private Sector Leader, former member of PAGE. Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Kwame Pianim, Economist and Private Sector Leader and former member of PAGE. Next, we have Ms. Nana Oye Mansa Yeboah, former Deputy Minister for Finance and Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry and former member of PAGE. Shall we please acknowledge her? Next, we have Dr. Kwabena Duffuor, Economics, former Governor of the Bank of Ghana and former Minister for Finance. Next, we have Sir Sam Eson Jonah, Private Sector Leader and Industrialist. Next, we have Mr. Ato Brown, former World Bank Infrastructure Specialist and Agribusiness Investor. Dr. Henry A. Kofi Wampa, former Governor of the Bank of Ghana. Togbe Afedi the 14th, Economist and Private Sector Leader. Ms. Abina Amoah, Chief Executive Officer, Ghana Stock Exchange. Professor Priscilla Chumesi Bafo, University Professor and Academic Researcher. Last but not the least, we have Professor Patience Asiwe Abo, University Professor and Academic Researcher. You are all welcome to this special occasion. May I now invite His Excellency the President to deliver his remarks on this special occasion. Shall we please acknowledge him with a round of applause?
Thank you very much. Let me begin by expressing my sincerest regrets for the late start of this program. It was due to some circumstances beyond my control. And if the president can't control something, then it's really serious. Good morning, distinguished members of the Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy. Our Right Honorable Speaker, thanks for joining us. Honorable Ministers of State, senior government officials, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to preside over the inauguration of the members of the Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy, PAGE, and to convene its inaugural meeting this morning. I thank each of you for accepting the call to serve our country at a critical moment in Ghana's economic journey. Your willingness to contribute your time, experience, and intellect to the national cause reflects a deep commitment to public service and to the future of our republic. The mandate of PAGE, as outlined in your letters of appointment and accompanying public release, is both clear and consequential. You are expected to provide strategic counsel on macroeconomic management, fiscal consolidation, debt sustainability, and the coherence between fiscal and monetary policy. You are to advise on structural transformation, industrial development, competitiveness, and export-led growth strategies. PAGE is also charged with offering guidance on sectoral development, private sector expansion, investment mobilization, and sustainable job creation, while supporting the design and implementation of flagship national initiatives, including the 24-hour economy, the Accelerated Export Development Program, and other productivity-enhancing reforms. In addition, you are to conduct periodic assessments of Ghana's economic performance, propose policy adjustments where necessary, and contribute expert input to Ghana's economic negotiations and engagement with bilateral and multilateral partners, international financial institutions, and investors. Importantly, PAGE shall report directly to the President, submitting advisory memoranda, briefs, and strategic reviews, as and when required. Your counsel is therefore expected to be frank, independent, evidence-based, and anchored in the long-term national interest. PAGE is not new to our governance architecture. It existed under the late President, Professor John Evans Atta Mills, and also during my earlier tenure in office, and it returns today expanded and strengthened to reflect the evolving complexity of our economy. The current PAGE configuration allows us to streamline economic governance by eliminating the overlapping structures, including the former economic management team. My Vice President, who is a member of PAGE, will chair meetings in my absence in accordance with constitutional responsibility. PAGE will operate alongside the Economic Policy Coordinating Committee, EPCC, which is jointly chaired by the Minister for Finance and the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, which remains a critical technical platform. I encourage continued coordination among these bodies to achieve efficiency, coherence, and cost-effective governance. In constituting this group, I was guided by several principles. First, experience and institutional memory. Some members of PAGE have served across different administrations, including during my earlier tenure in office. This continuity is important. Experience allows us to sustain what has worked, correct what has failed, and avoid repeating costly mistakes. Second, diversity of expertise and sectoral balance. Members bring expertise and experience spanning fiscal policy, monetary management, capital markets, private enterprise, academia, and the real economy. Third, gender and generational balance. Economic policy must reflect the full breadth of national talent. PAGE reflects a strong representation of women, young professionals, seasoned practitioners, and scholars, including the elderly, whose insights will enrich our deliberations. This breadth is not symbolic, it's strategic. I do not want this committee to misunderstand my optimism in the advice you offer as an endorsement of an easy task ahead. You are all qualified and experienced enough to know that we face a tough road ahead, regardless of the progress we may have chalked up to date. As a nation, we find ourselves again in debt distress after having previously declared HIPC and solemnly assuring ourselves that we will never return to such a position. That experience should have permanently altered our fiscal culture. Unfortunately, instead, we dissipated significant buffers and stabilizers that would have shielded our citizens from the painful domestic debt haircuts that they ultimately had to endure. We must confront this reality honestly. After investing in 3 oil fields and positioning ourselves as an emerging petroleum economy, we allowed policy inconsistency and investor uncertainty to drive existing and potential investors to competing jurisdictions. The result has been a declining trajectory of crude oil output at a time when we should have been consolidating gains and building resilience for the energy transition. Our handling of state-owned enterprises has also been uneven and at times haphazard. Weak governance frameworks, political interference, and inadequate financial discipline undermined institutions that were once engines of stability and credibility. We failed to raise sustainable funding for cocoa and the Cocoa Board's capacity to syndicate effectively, something it had done successfully since the early 1990s, and this was severely impaired. These are not points of blame, they are lessons in responsibility. Ghana's economic history teaches us humility. We have deepened our capital markets, expanded the range of domestic bond instruments, yet we have also experienced painful setbacks, including debt distress and decline in investor confidence. Our task now is correction without amnesia, learning from both our success and our failures. I pause here because I want you to be part of the solution and ultimately part of the success story we must now write. Your council must help us rebuild credibility, restore fiscal discipline, attract investment, re-anchor expectations, and re-establish Ghana as a serious, predictable, and competitive economy. This is not simply about recovery. It is about institutional reform, structural transformation, and a permanent reset of our economic governance culture. In conclusion, members of PAGE will serve as national priorities and circumstances evolve. Your advice will be sought on major economic milestones, including, amongst others, the national budget, mid-year reviews, monetary policy developments, medium-term plans, and other strategic initiatives. PAGE would meet at least once every quarter, but would also meet in circumstances of emergency. There will be emergency meetings. The Minister of Finance, the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, and the Special Advisor to the President and the Chairman of the NDPC will provide technical support to the work of PAGE. Once again, I thank you for accepting this responsibility. I expect rigorous analysis, constructive disagreements and agreements, and solutions that place Ghana firmly on a path of economic recovery, resilience, and inclusive growth. I wish you well in your deliberations, and in the powers vested in me, declare the Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy duly inaugurated.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Please, our friends from the media. So the ceremony is inauguration of the Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy. So kindly let's take note. Your Excellency, with your permission, may I now invite Her Excellency Professor Jane Nana Opoku Agyeman, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, to deliver her brief response. Shall we please welcome her with an applause, please?
Your Excellency, President of the Republic, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Ministers of State, senior members of government, distinguished members of the Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy, members of Diplomatic Corps, if present, esteemed guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm honored to deliver these remarks on behalf of the Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy. Let me begin by expressing our gratitude to His Excellency the President for the foresight that informed the establishment of this advisory group. After a period of acute strain, visibility is returning and confidence is gradually rebuilding, even as we continue to navigate global and domestic challenges. This moment must be used not only to recover, but to reset our economic direction. As an advisory body, our mandate is clear and demanding: to provide independent, rigorous, and practical advice to support government. We complement existing institutions by offering insight, testing assumptions, and proposing solutions informed by global best practice and grounded in Ghana's realities. Our commitment is to move from crisis management to durable success. We will foster dialogue, intellectual honesty, and collective responsibility, engage across sectors, and deliver actionable advice aligned with Ghana's long-term development vision. Your Excellency, this advisory group comprises professionals of different backgrounds, perspectives, and experience across diverse disciplines. As a lifelong teacher myself, I would like to respectfully leave my esteemed colleagues and myself with our first piece of homework. That is, for us to constantly reflect on what the term the economy should mean to our fellow citizens. Beyond an abstract concept, it should mean many things, including the following: stability for the teacher in the classroom and the nurse on night duty, fair prices and reliable markets for the farmer, predictable costs and access to credit to the trader and small business owner, stable incomes and affordable housing and transport for the worker, opportunities and skills for the young person, especially the women, security for the laborer, and decent care for the elderly. In short, our task is sobering. That is, to conceptualize the kind of support that makes their economy feel less distant and more everyday possibility. To arrive at a reality where effort is rewarded, risks are shared, and honest work is not invisible, we must remember the concrete effects of the economy on our people's lives, such as the safety of the water, the reliability of electricity powering their aspirations, and the dignity of their work. Economic transformation is a national project. It requires discipline, trust, and shared responsibility across the government, the private sector, labor, civil society, and development partners. Our pledge is to provide independent, thorough, and practical leadership to support this collective effort. We want to thank you again, Your Excellency, for the trust you have placed in us, and we have every determination to uphold it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Shall we please give Her Excellency another big round of applause? Thank you for those words of assurances. Please, Your Excellency, with your permission, may I acknowledge some honorable ministers and heads of institutions who have come here to support this noble program today. Of course, the Right Honorable Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Shall we please? Thank you. Our Chief of Staff is also here. Please. Thank you. Next, we have the Executive Secretary. I'm sure everyone knows him by now, Dr. Callistus, our boss. Yes. Honorable Minister for Finance is also here. Thank you. We have the Minister for Education, Chairman, National Development Planning Commission, NDPC, is here. The Governor of the Bank of Ghana. We have the Presidential Advisor. Shall we please see you with a wave? Honorable. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Setekwe, who is the Presidential Advisor on the Economy. Dr. Ofusuan Pofo, Special Advisor at the Office of the Vice President. We have Minister for Transport, who is also here. We have the Government Statistician. Thank you. Executive Secretary, Association of Ghana Industries. Is he here? Okay. General Secretary, Trade Union Congress. I think I saw him. Yes, thank you very much. Ghana Employers Association. Are they here? Thank you very much. Good. The Chief Executive Officer, Ghana Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors. Thank you. Boss, okay. Chief Executive Officer, Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. Is here? Okay, sorry. The Chief Executive Officer, Chartered Institute of Bankers. Thank you very much for coming. I also have Chief Executive Officer, Institute of Chartered Accountants. Thank you very much for coming. Hey, shall we please acknowledge the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry? Sorry. Of course, we have the Legal Counsel to HE the President, Honorable Marita Brew. Thank you. I think she's the head of Director General NDPC. Okay, thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I think, may I humbly invite Your Excellency and then the members of the Presidential Advisory Group to have a group photograph here first. Outside with it together. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Shall we please rise to take the national anthem? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I wish to acknowledge the Deputy